I'm going to do my best to make this video as short and efficient as possible, but if you're not willing to take a few minutes out of your day to learn this stuff, you're not going to make it. Here is an actually helpful answer to a question that I get asked all the time, which is, I have X dollars to invest, what do I buy? I almost never see this question answered helpfully, and so I thought that it would be a nice change of pace to give you an answer that isn't bullshit. Believe it or not, you are better at answering this question for yourself than I ever could be, or any influencer ever could. So here are the questions that you want to ask yourself so that you can figure out how to answer. Okay, so getting us started, we need to determine whether or not the amount of money that we're looking at investing into whatever, crypto in this case, is a lot of money to you. Cryptocurrency is extremely volatile, and there is a chance, no matter how solid a project the influencers tell you something is, that it goes down in price and you may lose money here. With reward potential comes risk possibility. So right off the bat, if you cannot afford to lose or be without the amount of money that you're looking at investing, you need to reevaluate that number. Okay, moving on, we want to determine what our goals are. This is a really good way to kind of start to set expectations for these things, and this will help us build the way that we want to construct an investment portfolio in whatever, stocks, ETFs, crypto. Are we looking to build something that we can retire off of? Are we looking to just be able to invest more in the future and we would like to make some profit? Are we looking at just getting a little bit of extra cash for walking around money? Are we looking at buying a house or some other large purchase in the near future? Having a clear goal in mind will help us set realistic expectations as we look at these different assets. Next, what do you expect from your investments and what are you willing to put in? Not just in dollar amount, but in time, energy, the amount of reading and learning that you're willing to do to get a better understanding of the technology you're looking at investing at if we're talking about crypto. This will also help us determine what our time frame is, which kind of goes in conjunction with goals. You know, are we looking at something for the short term, like we want to be in and out of this asset in the next 2 weeks, just want to make a quick flip, or are we looking at doing something over the next 10 years? There's no wrong answer to any of these questions. It's just stuff that you need to be able to say before anybody on earth, including a real financial advisor, which none of us are, would be able to give you any sort of input on how to build a portfolio. Which leads me into kind of my final point for this list. How hands-on are you willing to be? I used to be way more hands-on with my crypto portfolio. So I had more things in it. I was paying more attention. I was reading the news every single day, multiple times a day, checking charts, all that sort of stuff. And to be very honest, I just don't have time for that anymore. And I have found greater success in making a more conservative approach than I ever did by trying to just be full frontal all the time. From here, we can go in a bunch of different directions. We start talking about what kinds of technology are you interested in, which parts of the industry interest you the most, where do you want to start learning, all that sort of stuff. These are all questions that are really important, whether you like it or not, to building a real investment thesis. And if you can't answer all of these things, then you're basically just going to be shooting from the hip, taking buy signals and advice from influencers on the internet. All of that just exponentially increases your risk profile and just makes you way more likely to lose. And in a lot of these cryptocurrencies, I'll be honest, you're not really looking at sound investments, okay? There are rampant Ponzi and pyramid schemes all over the place in this industry. And if you don't take the time to learn this kind of stuff, you are going to be the one who falls victim to those and just pays the early birds.